The true doctrine is expansive and enlightening. It corrects the hearts and rectifies the actions. It reveals the origin and ends of things and leads to the path of supreme truth. This religion, so excellent and admirable, is difficult to name, but in order to transmit it, it is called the religion of light. The year is 635. Alopen, a Persian monk in the Nestorian Church of the East, is traveling to China along the Silk Road. Carrying the Bible, other sacred books, and holy relics, he aims to spread the Christian gospel to the Chinese people. Walking through the deserts of Mesopotamia, the steppes of Central Asia, and the mountain passes of Kunlun, he faces every danger Mother Nature throws at him. After thousands of miles, he finally reaches the city of Chang'an, or City of Everlasting Peace, the capital of China during the Tang Dynasty. Alopen's treacherous journey paid off, as he was granted an audience with the emperor. This emperor, Taizong, was a scholar, a philosopher king, and read the Holy Scriptures himself. The Nestorian stele reflects he was profoundly moved when reading. At the time, Christianity became known as Jingjiao, or the religion of light, and in 638, Taizong decreed, "Let the religion of light be spread through the empire." Churches were built in the capital. The Gospels were clothed in Chinese metaphors. Jesus became the luminous one. God was the uncreated eternal. The Trinity was the three-in-one, mysterious and profound. In the year 781, beneath the Tang Dynasty sky, monks of the Luminous Religion raised a monument, a stone that would outlast their churches, their books, and even their names. The Nestorian stele, which, as you know I keep quoting from, is a record of 150 years of Christianity in China. Carved in classical Chinese and Syriac, it tells the story of a faith born in Judea, carried by Persians, and welcomed by emperors. It also teaches profound Christian theology, mixed with Taoist and Buddhist language, such as the following. The Lord of the universe, the triune and mysterious, emptied himself and took mortal form in Daqin. The sacred teachings spread, illuminating all regions. And the true doctrine is vast and illuminating. It purifies the heart, rectifies the mind, and reveals the beginning and end of all things. In the imperial capital, surrounded by Taoist mystics, Confucian sages, and Buddhist monks, the Church of the East flourished. Scripture was translated, monasteries rose, and Chinese believers walked the way of Christ through the language of their own land. But golden ages seldom last. By the mid-9th century, the winds of imperial favor shifted. China, once a haven of cosmopolitanism, turned inward. Emperor Wuzong, fearing foreign influence, launched a great suppression of Buddhism, and with it other foreign faiths, including Zoroastrianism, Manichaeanism, and Christianity. In an edict he stated, "Let all barbarian teachings be abolished. Let the temples fall and priests return to the plow." The churches were emptied. The scrolls vanished. The sacred paintings once unrolled before emperors forgotten in dust. In 987, Ibn al-Nadim, an Arab writer, met a Christian monk fleeing China, who informed him that Christianity was extinct in China. The native Christians had perished in one way or another. The church what they had used had been destroyed, and there was only one Christian left in the land. The religion of light, once praised in the court, became a whisper. Its communities faded into silence, its teachings hidden, or absorbed into the great tide of Chinese memory. The gate remained, but few would walk it again. For 400 years, Christianity in China disappeared beneath the tides of dynasties and dust. 4 centuries passed. Empires rose and fell. The stele of the Luminous Religion stood alone in the wilderness, until the world trembled beneath the hooves of the Mongols. The Mongol Empire, the largest land empire in history, united Asia under the rule of Genghis Khan and his descendants, and among their ranks were unexpected allies of the cross. The Karaites, the Ongurs, and other powerful Mongol tribes had converted to the Church of the East long before the conquest of China. Their queens and generals wore crosses, read Syriac, and honored the Messiah as the celestial worthy. In the 13th century, under Kublai Khan, founder of the Yuan dynasty, the Luminous Religion was reborn. Christianity was welcomed once more into the imperial court. Quote, "Let the Ta Ching religion be honored. Let churches be protected in every province." Monasteries were rebuilt. Clergy granted tax exemption. The stele was read again, its words no longer forgotten, its truth shining once more. For a brief moment, the Church of the East stood alongside Buddhists, Muslims, and Taoists at the summit of power. It was the second golden age, but in the shadow of the cross, another flag was rising. Ever since the Council of Ephesus, when Nestorius, the namesake for the Nestorian Church and Nestorian stele, the Patriarch of Constantinople, was condemned a heretic by all the churches in Christendom except the Church of the East, there was conflict between the Eastern Church and the other Christians. So when Rome knocked at the door of the Mongols during the Nestorian revival, conflict was bound to happen. Into the golden calm of the Yuan dynasty came strangers, not from Persia or the steppe, but from Rome. They were Franciscans and Dominicans, sent by the Pope himself. These were men of faith and fire, convinced that the Church of the East was not a brother, but a heresy to be corrected. They found churches already built, communities already faithful, but to them this was not a true Christianity. They called the Nestorians confused, ignorant, followers of a false Christology. We have found people who call themselves Christians, but they are Nestorians, and know not the true faith. We baptize anew their children, and built new churches in their cities. John of Montecorvino. The Franciscans would build their own churches in the very cities where the Assyrian Church had stood for centuries. They debated, they denounced, and gradually, they replaced. Some Nestorians converted, others resisted, but the damage was done. In the heart of the Mongol Empire, Christianity was no longer united. It was divided, fractured by language, by liturgy, and by Rome's claim to supremacy. The Luminous Religion still glowed, but the flame flickered. In 1368, the Mongol Yuan dynasty fell. The Chinese Ming dynasty rose in its place, proud, nationalistic, and deeply suspicious of all things foreign. To the Ming court, the Christian communities, Nestorian and Latin alike, were remnants of an empire they had overthrown. There would be no tolerance this time. No welcome. A Ming decree stated, "The foreign temples of the West are to be dismantled, their priests dispersed. Let the teachings of China prevail alone." And so, after nearly 7 centuries, through persecution, revival, and empire, the Luminous Religion vanished. The monasteries crumbled, the scriptures decayed, the names were forgotten. Only one monument remained. In 1625, a group of Jesuit missionaries rediscovered the Nestorian stele in Xi'an. To their shock, they realized what it meant. The faith we now bring. It had already come. The gospel reached China long before us, and it bore fruit. The light was born in the West, and it shone in the East. They came with no armies. They carried no banners. Only scrolls and light. Theirs was a faith that crossed mountains, endured empires, and disappeared with grace. The world forgot them, but history remembers. And history did remember. In 2010, after over 600 years of silence, the ancient liturgy of the Assyrian Church of the East returned to Chinese soil, not in Chang'an, but in Hong Kong. The words first spoken in Mesopotamia, carried by monks through deserts and empires, were heard again in the East. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. Heaven and earth are full of His glory. Though small in number, a new generation of Chinese Christians has begun to rediscover the religion of light, not as a relic, but as a living memory. The light has not gone out. For over 1,000 years, the Church of the East lived and labored in China, forgotten, erased, scattered, but not extinguished. And today, a whisper becomes a song. The faith of Alopen walks the land once more. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, please like and subscribe to support the channel. And to my old subscribers, I'm sorry for taking a few years off of YouTube. More videos like this one will be coming out soon. I really appreciate you guys for staying with me during this journey, and feel free to leave a comment below for videos you want to see next. Thanks again for watching.